they're going up against two guys who are clean cut over there in Riley Newman and Tyson McGuffin, who've also been playing for the first time here this week, and it's magical. It works.
It works, man.
They played extremely well against Ben Johns and Kyle Yates last night to be able to advance to this portion of the tournament. You see what that ease in which Steve Deakin put that ball away? So fantastic to watch these guys. I love men's doubles just because these guys, they just know how to get after it here.
This is what I'm talking about right here.
Just right out of the gate, they understand what the gravity of this match means, and so they're putting it out there early here. Good drive there by Steve, pushing the pace. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
You can't leave it up like that in front of Riley without him just crushing it.
No, even with a bum knee, he still found a way to poach that ball and put it away. I'll be honest, I think it's tender, but I don't think it's going to be a big issue. Just watching him play early here, they seem to be focused solely on Tyson at the moment, to be real honest with you. Oh, man. You know, the second because I said, you know, they're focused on Tyson, and the minute they got Riley involved, guess what happened? The results spoke for itself. You know, he's just got that ability to like break you down in the middle of a point so easily. Friendly roll by Tyson. I don't think that was the shot that Wes Gabrielsen expected. It kind of hit the net and just dipped straight over. That's what we call that, the Florida roll.
The Florida roll. That's how we roll.
You read my mind. I love it. The state of flow between Golden Boy and Eddie.
That's right.
All right, so we got some cross-court dinking. Again, I mean, I think they knew what the game plan was going in. It's Tyson is more conservative. He plays a lot of defense. But he's not going to hurt you all the time. Where Riley, I feel like every time he touches the ball, he's going to do something to penetrate your team and cause damage. All right, Jack with a little mistake. We're going to grant him one pass.
That's his one.
Like all weekend, he's not messed up at all. So.
Yep, we'll give him his one.
Great backhand slice return there by Wes Gabrielsen. You know, I could swear these guys have been playing together for years, the way they move on the court, the way they communicate.
Yeah, their styles work very well together.
Yeah, I mean, how they know each one's going to hit the ball, and, like, it's just it's really a thing of beauty.
Kind of similar personalities, too.
Yeah, very much so. Both funny in their own right. You know, Irina was talking about Tyson earlier in singles, how he doesn't get tired, and I have to tell you, I think he took his conditioning to a new level after he was in a few tournaments where he cramped and all that kind of thing. And you haven't seen him cramp in any of these tournaments here recently. And that's a credit to him hiring a coach to help him with nutrition and his sports training. And obviously he's done whatever it takes to keep from cramping up and fatiguing in these tournaments. Because you can't be cramping and fatiguing if you're going to win at the highest level. That was a net roll. Again, I'm seeing a trend here, Eddie. Could you guess what the trend is?
Don't hit it to Riley.
Every time Riley does touch the ball, he wins the point. And the reason we have a 6-0 score in Newman and McGuffin is because Tyson and Riley have done an excellent job of neutralizing the strengths of Steve Deakin and Wes Gabrielsen up to this point. However, they're a veteran posse, if you will, and they're not going anywhere. They'll recover. This is a good timeout. Down 6 in game 1. Do we know if this is best 2 out of 3?
This is best 2 out of 3, 2-11, yep.
So now we're settling into the longer games. Me and you are going to have to dig in.
Yep.
You know, we're here for the long haul.
We're in for it. If this thing goes till 4 in the morning, we're here, man.
I hope for everybody's sake that it doesn't go to 4 in the morning. But we are committed to whatever it takes.
That's right. And you know, I got to tell you, man, a lot of the fun happened last night after about 10 p.m. So that's when the pickleball crowd loses their mind.
What was it? Butts up pickleball.
Butts up pickleball. Yep.
Butts up pickleball. You know what? Let's just go back to the match, and we're off. I think Wes and Steve had a chance to talk for 60 seconds about a game plan. And if I know these two well, they're going to execute their game plan, and they're going to come out and win some points here. Oh, what a kid, though.
Oh, wow.
My goodness, what a point.
I don't know if you noticed, but Steve Deakin kind of jumped back and just kind of slapped that backhand, too. That was impressive.
Yeah, when Riley jumped for that earning,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Steve's got amazing hands at the kitchen. Look at the defense, though, like Tyson and Riley right there.
A little bit wide there.
Just wide. Not by a lot, but
No.
it's just a game of inches. It's the margins. Makes all the difference.
0-6-2.
All right. Tough battle here early. Tyson McGuffin and Riley Newman able to jump out to a 6-0 lead. Boy, I tell you what. He's getting all the rolls right now. Yeah, that's not coming back.
No, it's not.
I tell you, we've been watching this for 4 straight days, and I keep thinking, like, there's nothing that can top, like, yesterday's play.
Right.
And then we go to day 4, and I'm like, these guys are just putting it all out there for us. It's awesome.
Stephen West held scoreless on that run.
Yeah, I mean, good timeout. They came out with a good game plan, but, you know, Riley and Tyson just bowed up and said, not right now. We're going to make you work for every point here. Luckily for Steve and Wes, they're holding at 6 at the moment. They can't let this thing get too far out of hand here.
I think we're actually at 7 now.
I'm sorry, excuse me, 7.
Oh.
Second serve.
Yep.
7-0-2.
I don't know why I ever doubt you, Eddie. The score is,
shouldn't.
in fact, 7.
Actually, right now you probably should.
Well, honestly, our lovely scorekeeper, Brittany, has not messed up at all, and so I actually went to her. I got her back on that one instead of trusting my boy Eddie there, so my apologies, Eddie.
It's all good, man. I get it.
That's a great forehand roll. If you notice when Tyson gets that ball, he squats really low and he times it just right where he can really roll that ball with a lot of force. And it's tough to play that ball. It just dips. Watch closely how Wes knifes that backhand. Boy, they're still going.
Oh, and he caught it.
That overhead from Steve would have not come back from 90% of the teams out there, but yet Riley easily gets that ball back over.
7-0-1.
Another hold by Tyson and Riley. Riley being a lot more aggressive here in game 1 than I actually thought he would be. Maybe that's the game plan. They think Riley's going to come out, be conservative, just stay steady dinking, and all of a sudden he's ripping and running and gunning, and it's thrown him for a loop a little bit, possibly. He's being way more offensive than I thought.
You just saw him favor that knee, though.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, you did. And we're going to see if that continues to be an issue or not. When he's at the kitchen, it doesn't seem to be an issue too much. But
it's his transition up to the kitchen. You can see he's slightly favoring it.
yeah, the lateral movement probably messes with him a little bit.
0-7-1.
All right. This is a crucial series. They've got to score some points here, even if it's just 1 or 2, just for their mental game. Here's 1. You know, Eddie, it starts with that
Yep.
1.
Starts with 1.
You can't get 1 before you get 1. I don't even know what that means, but they have 1, and we're excited. for that.
Surprisingly, I actually knew what you were saying.
Thank you, because we're on the same page in the state of flow. Not the hardest overhead from Riley, but I think he kind of mishit it, actually.
I think he did too. It's almost like the paddle slipped a little bit in his hand there.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't have tight enough grip.
It sounded kind of funny. I tell you, I think because these guys have great defense, and by these guys I mean Steve and Wes, but I think the telling sign I'm seeing right now is like the top spin, side spin, and back spin from Riley and Tyson is really affecting them right now. The ball's flying off their paddle different ways. I love the way Wes knifes that backhand. Oh, good defense. Oh, great defense, just a little long. I was just happy he got a paddle on it because Tyson hit the cover off that ball.
Yeah, hit the snot out of it.
7-1-1. Second serve. 7-1, second serve.
19 plus intermediate men's singles results.
Oh, great shot. Great backhand there by Wes right into Tyson.
Second place, Brian Graver. First place, Cameron Graver. Please report to the medal stand.
1-7-1.
The
All right.
Graver boys, they actually participated in the Eddie and Webby versus Cal Yates match. I don't
Oh,
know if you
that's
saw
awesome.
that. They subbed in for him
I
at
did.
one point. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. They're good.
They are good.
Okay, look, that's what we call a spark in pickleball. Sometimes you go through a little lull and things don't seem like they're going your way. All of a sudden you get a backhand around the post for a winner, and it just changes everything. You're going to see a little more pep in their step, a little more bounce, and you're going to see them start to play a little better here, just like that. I've seen enough matches, and I've played enough matches to see when a spark happens. It's like trying to light that fire. You got your kindling, and you're got your flint rocks, and all of a sudden,
And you're
bam,
chipping away and it hit, and all of a sudden you get your spark.
you get that spark,
Yep.
baby. That's what it was. That ATP from around the pole was a spark. Now, Riley and Tyson have a bucket of water. They're trying to throw water on that spark.
Yes, they are.
We're going to see if they're successful or not here shortly. I like the driving. Drive the third, drive the fifth. What's happening, though, right now is they're trying to reset from midcourt, and if you leave the ball up just even a fraction of an inch on those two across the net, they're just going to punish it. They will make you pay.
3-1.
7-3. They were able to get 2 that last series. That's huge. Good discipline by both. We're seeing a lot of Tyson and Wes. Look at that. That's crazy. Boy, Steve said, I'm done messing around with these guys. I'm just gonna hit one they can't get back.
Yeah, you know, I'm surprised that they haven't really gone for any of those nice little drops into the kitchen, and maybe it's because they know that Tyson is one of the fastest guys out there.
Absolutely.
But I am surprised they're not. They don't seem to be pulling that out of their bag of tricks at all. Maybe it's just not a shot they're comfortable with.
At least for right now. Maybe they're seeing something that they like. Speeding it up. Look at the hands.
Wow.
Now, you got to have a little luck like that because Riley, that's one of very few that Riley's going to miss. But in order to make a climb back into this game, you've got to have that type of shot not go over for them. And by them, I mean Riley and Tyson. I think Steve getting a little aggressive there. Maybe he should have probably just reset that ball, but they're going to go on to second serve here. A little verbal frustration. I think that's his way of psychology, sports psychology.
Well, I mean, you definitely you have to allow the frustration to move through you, right? You can't deny it. You can't tuck it in and fight it. At the same point, once you let it out, regroup, collect yourself,
Go back to
and then
business.
go back to the positive or whatever you need in order to get yourself into that ideal state.
I love it.
Wish I could take my own advice though.
Oh, Riley kind of stepping on the toes of Tyson. But it worked. He got it. I think he's just, right now, he's just trying to get involved. He sees that they're going at Tyson quite a bit. And sometimes all that does is just break up the rhythm, right? Like if Riley gets his paddle on the ball, even on a dink, he can maybe move the ball to a different spot, go back cross court, something like that. Just break up that rhythm, that flow. Because we're seeing a lot of this right here. The Tyson and West matchup. I tell you what, Tyson looks sharp right now on that forehand. He's really reading that ball well. West has got to figure that out. West and Steve, but especially West because he's the one that's getting attacked there on those. He's got to figure out a way to kind of neutralize that or counter that, either by punching that ball or being more ready, I think, when that ball gets slapped at him fast to be able to block and defend it.
Yeah, they're definitely picking on him at the line, especially when they're speeding that ball up. I don't know if it's because they see, that he has a little bit less ability than Steve at doing so.
Yeah, Steve's just got a great defensive game, and so they recognize that West is more about his consistency and dinking and keeping the ball unattackable. But when the ball goes up and he does leave it attackable, they're going to go at West. Yeah. That's not necessarily a weakness for him. He's just not as strong probably in that area as Steve.
Right. Instead of an A++, he's only an A+.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Right. Where me and you just hope to be like D++.
I'm happy with D-.
I was hoping we were moving into the C-, but
one day.
Just you need to just get like Simone or somebody just like hit balls at you at the kitchen.
All
just,
day
like,
long.
Slam them at you.
That's a good idea.
Put a helmet on. All right, here we go. There you go. So, even though it's 9-3, it's far from over. I mean, these games have ebbs and flows as we've so often seen all week, and you just have to continue to fight and scratch and claw and find ways to win a point here or a point there. That's not going to help the cause.
No.
I think he went for a little more aggressive backhand slice there. A little deeper, a little wider. Just sailed on him. Riley's knee, it may be bothering him, but he's such a competitor. I don't think he even thinks about it when he's out there.
Nope. Or just doesn't care.
Or doesn't care. I mean, they've got a lot on the line here. There's a lot at stake. Yeah, I think he rolled that forehand, hoping to get more of a looping action kind of down over the net. It actually hung up. I think he mishit slightly on it, and it hung up, and then they just punished it. All right, they held at 3-10. All right, 10-3, so now we're going to see if they can make a run. I think, just my observation, the middle ball is – they're getting a little confusion. Riley's trying to get his forehand in there. Tyson's trying to slap it with his backhand. That might be a little window there for them.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's a really good observation though.
Because Riley's coming all the way over right now. He's almost playing mixed doubles, but not quite. He's playing like a hybrid where he's like in the middle, but he's not over crossing the middle line. He's kind of shading slightly to the middle line. There's another one.
Yeah.
Again, it's never over in pickleball, is it?
6-10-1.
They seem calm, collected, composed. They've got a good game plan. You can't miss that one right there, though. That puts you at 7-10 if you hit that put away, get that put away. He wants that one back, I'm sure.
6-10-2.
Moving on.
Wow, another great battle at the line there. Riley Newman able to pull that off.
Side out. 10, 6, 1.
All right. Game point. Riley wheeling that thing to come over. Yeah, that's just too good by Newman and McGuffin. I got to tell you, that was an exciting game one. I'm sure we're going to see more of that power game from them in game two.
I agree, and I'm looking forward to it. I wonder what Steve and Wes are going to be switching up here a little bit. I mean, they were really trying to keep that ball away from Riley.
Well, they're kind of in a bad spot
Yeah.
because they want to stay away from Riley. But right now, Tyson, anytime the ball gets lifted on those cross-court dinks with Wes, it's getting punished.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even waiting around to wonder and decide, should I let this bounce? Should I attack it? He knows exactly when to attack. And so far, that's heavily benefited them in that game one, 11-6 final. I think in game two, maybe they look at putting Wes straight across from Tyson and putting Steve on the other side just to give him a different look maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I understand why they want to keep Steve on the left side, or what were we calling it yesterday?
It's the strong side, dark side.
Strong side, yes. And maybe I understand why they were keeping him here, but I agree. Maybe they should try and switch it up a little bit.
Just test
See.
it.
Yeah,
See.
just test it out.
Mix it up a little
Yeah.
bit. I know they want Steve's forehand in the middle. Wes is ambidextrous, but he's also left-handed most of the time. So I get why they're doing that, but why not for a point or two here early in game two, maybe switch it up, just give it a different look. Put Riley straight across from Steve Deakin. Put Wes Gabrielsen straight across from Tyson, and just keep that cross-court battle between Wes and Tyson maybe limited for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work, no harm, no foul, go back to the way it was. I'm just the commentator. I'm not sure if that's actually a good strategy, but I am a big proponent and a big fan of changing something if it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some games it might work better than others based on the matchups, based on, this or that. But in this matchup, I think Tyson in game one had the upper hand the whole time. And he always looked like he was in control. And Wes is always steady and consistent. But over the course of those points playing out, eventually Wes would lift the ball a little too high and would get punished. And that was the theme of game one. They fought hard. They were down. Guys, listen, they were down 7-0 before they started getting points. They went to 7-1, and then they went to 7-3 and ended with the 11-6. They were behind the 8 ball, right, Eddie? But I think they're going to make some adjustments in game two. We'll see a better game out of them in game two here.
0-0.
So far, they didn't change the strategy like
No,
I
they did
suggested, and it worked in their favor there. I think he's ready. He's ready.
1-0-2. Side out.
Good communication there between Tyson and Riley.
Must be Team Selkirk thing.
Yeah.
I personally love this partnership of Tyson and Riley, Team Selkirk.
Yeah, it's not something I would have put together because they do have two very different, very distinct styles of play, right? But they seem to be playing off each other incredibly well.
Yeah, it works. It's like nachos and cheese.
It's
Or-
right.
I don't know. I'm too
Or
tired.
Eddie and Scott Goldman.
That's right. I'm too tired, honestly, to come up with analogies right now of food analogies. But you get what I'm saying, right, Eddie?
I do.
Hopefully the fans at home do as well. That's great defense by Tyson. I don't know if you've ever had one come off the net like that, but it's extremely difficult to keep your composure and keep that ball going back over the net. And they just do such a good job of that at the pro level.
2-1-1. Second service.
Yeah, Riley tried to speed that one up there and attack, and the ball just a little bit too low. He's been very consistent with his attacks today. Got this whole weekend.
Yeah, he makes great decisions. His defense is unbelievable.
What a play we got shaping up here.
Oh, you know, it's no longer good enough to just hit one powerful overhead and be done with the point at the pro level here. You have to win that point 6, 7, 8 times maybe, sometimes double digits. It's crazy. The caliber of play has really, really come up.
Yeah, I mean, that
Quickly.
was a very technical point, too.
Yeah, it was. I love the footwork of all 4 players. They move so well on the court. And for all these new teams like this, I'm always so impressed with how they work so well together with limited experience on the court together. That's the second one in a row where they've caught Steve kind of deep at his feet, kind of jammed him up on that dink. It's great strategy there.
2, 1, 1. Second serve.
Got a question out there from Ray saying it would be great to see another camera angle on these matches. Totally agree, Ray. Honestly, with the bad weather that we got, it actually, unfortunately, had damaged one of the cameras we had at the net there.
Yeah, the kitchen cam.
Yeah, so we're doing everything we can to let it dry out to see if that's the issue, and as soon as we can, I think we're going to try and get it back up. But for right now, we got the one great camera angle for you there. We appreciate your suggestions, though.
Second serve.
Looks like we're having a switch of the ball. Not sure what the issue is with that one.
Tyson taking advantage of that quick timeout or break and toweling off his face. It is pretty humid this morning.
You know, I was going to say in the last 20 minutes or so, it seems like the humidity has really picked up.
Slide out. I'm sorry. Quick. Slide out. 2, 2, 2. Slide out. Two, 2, 1.
Did you see the precision in which that point was won? Tyson just keeping that ball going over really low, unattackable. And the second that Riley got his paddle on the ball, he put it away.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would give Riley credit there for it, right? But I feel like Riley was the quarterback there, but Tyson was the lineman. He was the one that was really setting up the play for Riley to be able to put it away.
Absolutely. Okay, what we saw right there is Steve trying to get involved, I think, a little bit more. And he kind of stepped over there in the way of Wes Gabrielsen, and they kind of got tangled up a little. So just a little snafu there, but no worries. They're going to get it figured out. Steve's just trying to do his part to get involved, and boy, that's such quick hands. There you go.
Yeah.
So if you could ever catch Riley when he attacks like that, he fully commits to the middle. If you ever catch him quick like that and get back behind him, it's a winner. But that's rare. It's rare that happens. Jack getting his words tangled up just a tad there. But he's been going strong all day, so.
Yeah. Going on, gosh, 3 hours straight now.
Right, and it's been match after match at the pro level, so it's not just Scott and Eddie playing at, their measly levels. I mean, this is the highest levels in pickleball, and I think it's important to note that, like, it's the level of focus that he has to maintain as well that can be mentally taxing on you. We know also personally how that feels.
Absolutely.
Because we have to stay engaged and on top of things.
But it's fun, man.
It is.
That's the
it's
thing.
fun.
When you love it, it's not such. It's draining, but in a good way. It's like I'm so exhausted from having so much fun. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and there's always time for a nap on Tuesday.
Yeah, I can sleep later. We had a quick question on Facebook about who's waiting for the gold medal game. That's from Matt Morley. I'll go ahead and show up on the screen here. We're in the semifinals. This is match 1, Tyson McGuffin and Riley Newman against Steve Deakin and Wes Gabrielsen. Match 2 is going to be Matt Wright, Colin Johns against Ben Johns and Kyle Yates. So that match should be coming up here for you guys very shortly. Hopefully that answered your question, Matt. If you guys have other questions out there, please go ahead and throw them in there. Not sure we're going to be able to get to all of them all the time, but it's always good to kind of know.
I also want to invite everybody to share this live stream. We want to get as many eyeballs watching as possible. These are the championship matches today, coming to a conclusion with the championship matches. We're building up to that, but all the games along the way are going to be fantastic matches to watch. And we've got the highest caliber play going on. So go ahead and hit that share button. And if you want to see the bracket or any updated information, you can check that out at pickleball.global. We haven't seen that happen very much in this.
It was definitely a good drop shot.
Yeah, it really was.
Unlike Tyson to be able to roll that one back over.
I feel like Steve and Wes are starting to play better now and start to figure a couple things out. And it's still they're trailing 6-3, but I just feel like it's the tide's turning just a little. We'll see. Steve looking to get involved. Did you see him poach that ball?
Man, he really interjected himself into that point. He said, I'm getting in here.
And to hit a winner like that, it's just awesome to see. That's good play by Riley. Looked like Steve kind of held his paddle to the backhand side and Riley able to roll that ball over to the right hip and catch him off guard just a little. All right, 6-4 at this side out. Oh, look at that. That's unbelievable.
Oh.
Boy, I'm surprised his knee didn't buckle after that one because he was going back middle and then he rolled it all the way back across Riley. And he didn't even have like verbal words. He just went like, oh, that was good.
6-4-2.
It's one thing I love. All the smiles out there and friendly competition we have.
Absolutely. These guys are first class warriors. Oh, good defense. But, just something about Riley's game. I mean, he just has the ability to make you mess up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a forced error.
7-2. 4-2.
Got another
7-4-2.
question here from Matt Morley. Do they already do singles? They did the semifinals for singles.
Quarters and semis.
Quarters and semis. The finals will be happening a little bit later.
No surprise. We've got Ben Johns and Tyson McGuffin squaring off in the pro singles finals.
That's right.
We've seen that once or twice.
4-2.
No.
Point. Timeout. Score 9-4-2. 1 minute. You are now out of timeout.
Jimbo, I just read your question about Kyle and Ben being the last time they're teaming up. We actually don't know that. I don't know that anybody knows that. I think these pros do book their partners out pretty far in advance. However, Ben and Kyle are a dominant force together, and I'm sure they will find ways to get back on the court together. Of course, Ben, being that his brother Colin is coming on strong, I'm sure Ben and Colin will team up for quite a few tournaments in 2020 as well. So, but no, we don't know that specific answer, to be honest. And if we did, we probably wouldn't tell you. No, I'm just kidding, Jimbo. I love Jimbo. I like to give Jimbo a hard time, but he's great. He's actually a fellow commentator and live streamer. He goes to tournaments all over the.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the Virginia, D.C. area.
Oh, nice.
And he kind of travels around there and plays tournaments and does his own live streaming. So thank you for that, Jimbo.
Time in. 9-4-2.
How good is Tyson at resetting that ball, being attacked like that mid-court, and just, it's like he's done it a million times.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he must practice that time and time again. And, I do feel like when people drill, that is not a drill that is common out there, where that is definitely one of the drills that I do consistently, trying to reset that shot in mid-court, because it comes up all the time and we never practice it.
Yeah, it's a crucial part of the game, and my game didn't start to get better until I started working on that myself, so I agree. Oh, a rare lob right there.
Wow.
Wow. But guess what? Riley just a little too much for those guys.
Yep.
Tyson playing the signature defense that he does, combined with Riley's intensity and offensive firepower, was just a little too much for the opponents across the way.
I gotta say, though, man, those were incredible games.
They were. They were.
I don't think the score reflects really just how powerful both sides were.
No, if you just looked at those box scores without seeing the match live, you would think like, oh, that was dominated by Tyson and Riley, but that's not the case. It was very competitive. The points just went the way in the favor of Tyson and Riley, but I think our little idea that the knee might bother Riley, if it is, he didn't show it.
That went right out the window, man. Second he stepped on the court. If he did, it did not bother him at all.
He's got a different type of mental focus that, he's up there in the elite with that 1% mindset. All right, guys, we're back live for another interview with my man Steve Deakin. What's up, Steve?
What's up, Golden?
So that was a tough matchup for you guys. Obviously, those guys are like a wall over there. Tyson's got great defense. Riley's got a combination of defense and offense. What was the game plan going into that match?
Well, game plan was to get Wes going cross-court with whoever was there. I liked his chances every time. Tyson played outstanding today, I felt, and both Wes and I think he was the X factor in that match. His resets defense was impeccable, and we couldn't get anything by him. It was kind of frustrating at times, and we didn't execute when we needed to, and we missed a few dinks here and there that we typically don't miss. But all in all, they played unbelievably. We had nothing today for them.
Do you feel like they force, like Riley, for example, like he forces those errors sometimes, the way his style?
Riley's just super consistent and steady. He's a bit pesky in the middle with the forehand. He'll roll that up high into your body, which can at times cause some issues. But I thought Tyson attacked well, even though he was on the even side with the forehand. He hit Wes in the left shoulder about 3 or 4 times in really big moments, and his spots were bang on today. He played amazingly.
Do you and Wes, did you guys talk about the beard situation going in? I mean, is that something that you guys discussed? Because it was on point today, my friend.
Well, yeah, the difference is Wes was growing his for about 2 days, and I've been about 6 months. So
Fair enough. That's about like me. This is like my 5 o'clock shadow right here after 2 weeks. But no, I know. Will we see this partnership again? Have you guys talked? I mean, maybe you haven't. I just like to get a little insight there. Maybe you guys don't know if you're going to team up, or maybe you do.
yeah, most definitely. We've got probably 4 or 5 together next year, and Wes being from the Pacific Northwest area, he's not too far away from me, so we can get some time to play together.
Yeah, and also one last question before we get going to this next match. Do you have any more matches today planned, or are you done for the day?
No, we've got another match. It'll be the loser of the match that's going on right now for bronze.
And then you're done. No more mixed doubles or anything like that?
No, I'm done for the day.
Okay, my friend.
We're hitting the beach. Hitting the beach.
That's the way to go. I love it. Hey, thanks for your time, Steve, and we appreciate you. Safe travels back after today. And, guys, that was Steve Demon Deakin. I came up with that nickname just for everybody that was wondering. Yeah, Demon Deakin right here. And, guys, listen, this is the World Pickleball Championship. Steve Deakin coming to you live here with the Golden Boy.